Hey y'all, Mama Snark here. So I'm going to do a quick little video on my top tips for flying with toddlers because let's face it, traveling with toddlers is not always easy. So we recently flew to Disney World from the Baton Rouge, Louisiana airport to MCO Orlando airport. And since we flew out of a small airport, it was a connecting flight both ways. So it was challenging, but thankfully I am a organization freak and prepared and made it a little bit easier on us. So my number one tip that I'm gonna get some like eye rolling and flack from some people for this is baby wear. Baby wear, baby wear, baby wear. I'm telling you, this made our trip through the airport so much easier. So much easier. So through security, you can wear your kid. Like we didn't, this is from Baton Rouge airport, like into security, and also Orlando airport through security coming home. We didn't have to take our kids off of us. So I think coming to Disney World, I had her on my front, and my husband had our 3-year-old on his back. So my little girl's 2, our little boy is 3.5. So going through airport security, they make you take your shoes off, but you can leave your kid's shoes on, and they make you go through like the metal detector and they just swab your hands to make sure that you don't have like any residue or anything like that on. And we didn't have to take them off of our backs at all. So that made things so much easier to contain our kids, because even if you were traveling with a stroller, we were not, because we flew American Airlines and I didn't read up on their stroller policy before I booked because we've never traveled with kids before. So I didn't think to do that. But with American Airlines, you cannot gate check a stroller that is larger than 20 pounds. And we have a double stroller, and pretty much any double stroller is going to be heavier than 20 pounds. So we had to ticket counter check it. So we had no stroller going through the airport. A lot of families I know rent from Kingdom strollers, so they won't have strollers going through the airport easier. But even if you have a stroller in the airport, you still have to collapse that stroller, take your kid out of it, and put the stroller through the x-ray machine. So having your kid on your back, it makes things a little bit more contained. So kudos to you if you have a perfectly well-behaved toddler. Our toddlers can be wild and unpredictable at times. So even if we had them in the stroller and we had to take them out of the stroller and we're trying to get all of our bags through that x-ray machine, we're trying to get the stroller folded down and through the x-ray machine, our toddlers are probably going to take that opportunity to like crawl under the table or run around or lay on the floor, who knows, because toddlers. So putting our kids on us just made the entire airport thing so much easier through security, first of all. Second of all, one of our flights from Orlando back home into Louisiana, we got off of the airplane at one side of the Charlotte airport. Our gate to leave was all the way on the other side of the Charlotte airport, and they didn't have any kind of like tram or internal like transportation to get you from one gate to the other. And we had, I think it was a 45-minute window to book it from one end all the way to the other end of the airport to make that flight, like so that we can get there to check in on time. And I cannot imagine, number one, like trying to make our kids walk that or run that. If you've walked with toddlers anywhere, you know that's just not feasible at all, because they like to, drag their feet and they like to kind of like hang sideways on you and do toddler things. So we would have had to like pick them up and carry them to go from one end to the other, and my arms just aren't that strong, especially after a week in Disney World already. Like my arms just wouldn't have been able to do it. So having them strapped to us made it so much easier to be able to just book it from one end all the way to the other. We had the rolling luggage with us, and that was it. So my husband had him on his back in the rolling luggage, I had her on my back in the rolling luggage, and we just hauled butt from one end to the other. And that would not have been possible if we didn't have them strapped to us. Also, she fell asleep during that trek. I guess just like the movement on my back and the motion just kind of lulled her to sleep. So she was asleep, so I just faced her forward, like I turned her around in the carrier so that she was on my front, and was able to board the plane with her still sleeping. And whenever I sat in my seat, I just kind of like unbuckled it and turned her around so that I can get the lap over, or the seatbelt over both of us, and she just slept on my lap. And I'll insert some pictures here of that. But baby wearing through the airport just made things so much easier. And I know some of y'all are probably thinking, well, my kids, you know, 3, 5, whatever. They make toddler carriers that are big enough to accommodate a kid that size. So my 2-year-old is about 36-ish inches and like 33 pounds. My 3.5-year-old is 37 pounds and about 42 inches. And both of them fit perfectly comfortable in our toddler carrier. My personal favorite is the Lilla Baby carry-on toddler carrier. Because it has like a triangular lumbar support. So whenever you have them on your front, that goes on your back and it helps to support the weight of the kid, which I don't front wear him anymore because he's so tall, like his head would just be like right here in my face. But I do front wear her if she falls asleep or if I'm going somewhere where I just kind of want to keep her a little bit more close to me, and or I have a backpack on my back, like the diaper bag or something on my back. So that helps. And then also, mamas, if you are like me and have had 2 kids in 2 years, I haven't lost the baby weight. So whenever I have her or him on my back, that lumbar support, it's kind of like this. It kind of forms like a shield on my tummy and it helps hold that mama pouch in. So that's my favorite. I've tried other brands like the Tula Toddler, wasn't quite supportive enough for me. Naked Panda, I love their Mer carriers for swimming in the water in the summertime. Those can go in the swimming pool, which I've used with Weezer several times because she gets a little bit kind of like skittish in like big bodies of water, but it's just not supportive enough for me like to carry for a long period of time in that one. I've heard good things about Kinder Pack. I personally haven't tried that one. So as of right now, my favorite brand is definitely the Lilla Baby carry-on. So that is my just number 1 tip for making it through the airport with a toddler, is have that carrier ready, like even just to use it for boarding the plane, because you're gonna, if you have a stroller with you, you still have to gate check that stroller, and it helps keep your kid contained. They're not running off. You're not trying to like, your hands free, so you're not trying to juggle bags and kids at the same time, because like I said, toddlers are wild and unpredictable. So my second tip is make sure that your airplane bag, like your personal item bag, like we used a backpack, is just chock full of stuff. Like, I tried to pack as light as possible, but having that bag loaded with things, just, it made it so much easier. So of course I had their tablets and their like headphones in it for kind of a last resort kind of situation for them to be able to play apps, like the Wi-Fi free games that we have on there for them. And I downloaded shows from Disney Plus, from the Google Play Store. I have, like, whenever you get your codes in the DVD, if you buy like Disney DVDs, and they have the codes in there, so I have things, movies and TV shows downloaded for them ready to go on the tablets. But that only holds their attention for so long. Like my 3.5-year-old, he's pretty good playing on his tablet for a while, like on road trips he's fine. My 2-year-old is a wild child. She does not sit still for more than 10 minutes, like ever. Like she's just constantly on the move. So having a backpack full of just random kind of like little toys and knickknacks and things, and I'll insert a video in the description box below of what I packed in that like personal item bag for the airplane. The only thing I don't have in that video is the like snack bag, because I tossed that in last minute right before we left. So the number 1 kind of items that you want to pack in your like carry-on personal bag for underneath the seat, because also your toddlers don't need leg room. I had Imaginiques. Get them from Target in the dollar spot for $3. If you get them online, they're like $5 or $6. So go to the Target dollar spot. It just kind of rotates out what characters are in there. Also from Target dollar spot, I had the play packs, which are just like a little coloring book and a little 3 packs of crayons and some stickers in there. I had sticker books. Those are another great resource to have. I had little action figures for both of them. So he had some little Spider-Man characters and she had some little My Little Ponies that they played with for a little while. So basically, anytime they got bored and started like fidgeting and moving around and things like that, I would just pull something else out of the bag and toss it at them. And it was like, oh, this is new and exciting. I haven't seen this for 5 minutes. And they started playing with it. Because when you're on a road trip and you're in your car, and your kid starts, you know, flailing and screaming and like whining because they're bored or they just don't want to sit there anymore, it's just you that has to endure that. But whenever you're on an airplane, you don't want to be that parent that has the kid that's just screaming and disturbing everyone else and like doing this and falling out of the seat and rolling around and kicking the seat in front of them. And my little girl, my 2-year-old, was obsessed with the like tray table, and she constantly just wanted to have that tray table down, even when we were taking off and landing, and you can't have it down when you're doing that. So she like lost her mind because she wanted that tray table down, and we had to pull it up. So me being able to like pull something out of the bag like new and shiny to entertain her with helped tremendously on those little meltdowns. Also, the second thing you want to make sure that you have packed and that you are able to bring with you, which I wasn't sure about at first, snacks. All the snacks. Snacks. So I had a Ziploc, like a little snack size Ziploc of the Zolly Pops. It's sugar-free, and it supposedly has something in there that works with the pH in your mouth to help not destroy your teeth. So I just had like a little snack size Ziploc just chock full of those. And I also had that for takeoff and landing. They can help with their little ears so their ears weren't popping. So my kids apparently just don't know how to eat suckers. So I thought they would just like suck on those during takeoff and landing and it would help with the ears popping. Both of my kids, as soon as they get a sucker, they just and chomp into it. So that didn't really help that much for the takeoff and landing, but it did help kind of throughout the flights there and back to distract them when they started getting kind of like antsy or, you know, wiggling, or just they didn't want to sit still anymore, or they wanted something different. Here, you want a sucker? And they're like, ooh, sucker. Also, the Welch's or any brand that you want of the little fruit snacks that come in the little packages, that helps too with the chewing for taking off and landing. And then also just, they don't typically get gummies at home very often, so that was something kind of exciting for them to get on the plane. So when they started wiggling and fidgeting and stuff, I'd be like, oh, who wants gummies? And I'm like, oh my goodness, gummies? And they got really excited about it. And then I think also had like Cheez-Its and just like the little prepackaged snacks that are easy to kind of pack away and pull out, like little granola bars and stuff like that. So basically just stuff them the whole time as soon as they start like, you know, pitching a fit. Also having all those different toys to just kind of pull out and distract them with helped tremendously. Those are the biggest things for us that helped during our flights for sure. Just having all those things at the ready. And you can go to the Dollar Tree and just get cheap and inexpensive little things, just something that's new and exciting to them that they haven't seen before. And then also try to get things that are as mess free as possible, because you don't want your kids like, you know, coloring on the seat backs or anything. So that's why I got the Imagine Inks. The Color Wonder markers are good as well, but you want something that they're not going to destroy the airplane with. I've also seen people get like the window clings, the gel clings for their kids to like put on the airplane windows and to use those as kind of like a distraction as well. But our kids did fine with the sticker books, and my personal favorites for the sticker books are the Melissa and Doug reusable stickers. But I had some cheaper packs that I had gotten on Amazon, and like I said, I'll try to link everything I can below that I used. And it was good to have all those different things to pull out. So between baby wearing and having all of those items in the bag ready to go, it just made getting through the airport and being on the airplane a lot easier. So just make sure that you're prepared. As long as you have just different little items to pull out and entertain them with, and you have something to like kind of keep them entertained with, you should have a pretty smooth flight. So I say these things are going to make your flight easier for sure. It's not going to make it easy, because unless you have just an angel easy child, traveling with toddlers is difficult. But these tips and tricks should help make it a little bit better on you so that you can get through your flight hopefully without any kind of meltdowns. So make sure you give my channel a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, follow along. We'll have lots of toddler adventure videos coming for you. Thank you guys for watching.